Live yan ha! Sa Ronald,
Hey, guys.
baka may sasabihin ka.
Kasi kalahati lang ng mukha ni Ronald nakikita.
Live na yan.
Okay,
Patay
wala
tayo
pa
dyan.
talaga.
Okay. And then this will be the YouTube one. Okay, fantastic. Okay. Wait lang sir, give us 20
Naka-live na to?
seconds. Yeah, they're both live. Magsa-start na yan. Kasabay na natin yung kabilang channel yata ngayon na naabutan tayo ng 8:30. So Bamit will focus on you kasi ikaw lang may lapel.
Musta?
Yan. That's it.
Dito kami ngayon, we are at the presence of two senatorial balls.
An X and a future X and another future.
Former and
Future and
returning
future
senator
X.
And
Okay.
Pati ba ko nabubudol?
Ilabas mo na yung shirt mo, bro. Wait lang. Ayun. Okay. Ang problema ko lang, magtasiklaway tayo dito. Wag masyadong malapit. We need some...
It's okay, we will share sa live
Yeah!
tonight.
That's...
Sabi nga, magkakaamuyan tayo tonight.
Medyo,
diba?
yeah, this is okay, let's go. Okay, ano na lang, boss? Okay na to sa audio? Sige, let's start in 5, 4... Huwag ka naman conscious ba kung may mga nag-troll dyan. That's part of the business. Yan, it's engaging and all of that. Okay, let's go. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the latest episode of RRM, the best Tres Marios, Super Marios. There's a Super Mario version, but our concern was trademark. So ginawa namin ilustrado. So today, of course, we have a special guest. I'm sure hindi nyo kilala yan. So we need a 2-hour introduction later on. Pero pwede siguro nyo i-Google or Wikipedia yan. Obviously, this is part of our discussions about history, kasaysayan. Gusto natin maintindihan ng kasaysayan. Of course, makasaysayan na araw ngayon, which is something we're going to discuss. And of course, it's not only a discussion about the past, it's also about the future. On that note, welcome to RRM, Project Pilipinas Show.
Thank you, salamat.
Ano pangalan niyo ulit, sir?
Bamakino po.
Bamakino, yeah.
Mga pang these days, Bamakino po.
Yes.
Richard, hi Mark, Sir Ronald, magandang gabi. Good evening
Hi.
everyone sa mga nanonood.
Good evening. All right, so ang may kasalanan na inimbita ka namin is Mark Gamboa. You wanna get the ball rolling, sir?
Salamat Mark sa
Hindi, syempre,
pag-imbita.
of course, kahapon was Ninoy Day, Ninoy
That's right.
Aquino Day.
Opo, yes.
Medyo nakakalito din kasi bukas pa yung holiday. Di ba?
Oh, yeah.
So we're taping this on a Thursday. So itong podcast episode, we want to allocate a big part of it talking about Ninoy, Ninoy the person, Ninoy the politician, and your family.
Yeah.
And of course,
Thank
yung mga naging atake sa kanya nitong mga nakaraang mga taon.
Yes.
So siguro I want to ask lang, growing up, how was it like to be part of the Aquino family? Ninoy and
Well, and your name, I mean, you're Benigno, right?
Yeah,
You're-
I'm
yeah.
Paulo Benigno. Actually,
Yeah,
named after ako my uncle. So I was born in 77. So nakakulong na siya noon. And yung isang point of pride ko dyan is dun sa kulungan niya, meron siyang, so nakakulong siya for 7 years and 7 months. No? I mean, a lot of people don't realize, ganun siya katagal nakakulong nung panahon yun. And meron siyang kalendaryo dun sa selda niya. And nakabilog the day after my birthday, which is May 8. So May 7 birthday ko, nakabilog yung May 8. It's a boy, Paul Benigno the Fourth. You know, and kumbaga yun yung aking, that's the only evidence I have na alam niya yung presence ko. 'Di ba? Kasi I was really young during that time. I was 6 nung pinatay siya. I was 3 years old nung umalis siya ng Amerika. And wala akong real memory of meeting my uncle, which is one of my regrets. I don't know kung si Sir Ronald, na-meet mo ba si Tito Ninoy ever?
Hindi.
rin, no?
Basta
Baka sa
kabarkada.
college ka nun, no? Oo.
Basta ang kabarkada ko si Butch.
Si Tito Butch. Okay. Of course,
Yeah, I remember
continued the
that.
fight in
Yeah.
the 80s na, di ba?
Mm.
But kwento sa akin ni Senator Kiko, siya youth leader siya nung 80s. Kahit sila, mga youth leader, hindi na rin nila masyadong kilala si Ninoy Aquino at that time. Kasi nakulong siya at 39 years old.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's
You're 39, right? That's your age, bro.
I'm 47. So that's
You're
8
you're
years ago.
47?
That's right. Ikaw na ka ba? May 40 ka na ba?
No, no.
32 ka na ba? Gano'n ka ba?
Hindi, I'm mid-30s.
Okay, mid-30s.
Baba,
Ikaw pare mid-30s.
You're 47. Wow, you look
47.
young, bro.
Okay, salamat.
Actually, bumata ka lalo in fairness.
Natuwa sa ako ko. Natuwa sa ako. But
Hindi, balero lang ako. Hindi, legit na. I was surprised. I thought you're like early 40s.
You
bro.
look younger than Richard.
Wow! Ronald, I want to say something. Sige lang.
People don't realize, he was really young. Sobra siyang bata nung kinulong siya. He was 39 nung kinulong siya. He was 47 nung na-exile siya. And he was 50 when he passed away, when he was killed.
Yeah.
Diba? And I had more years in the Senate than Tito Ninoy had years in the Senate. Kasi mabilis na panahon lang, nakulong na siya. People forget na he was prisoner number 1 during martial law.
Right.
Umabot siya ng 7 years and 7 months. Sa mga politiko nung time na yun, siya na yung record holder eh. The next one was Pepe Jokno at about 2 years.
Right.
But most other people, tama da, Sir Ronald, parang 1 linggo, 2 linggo, 1 buwan, di ba?
Mm.
Nakalaya na.
Yes, yes.
Pero I asked Chel nga, sabi ko, Chel, bakit yung tatay mo at yung tito ko yung pinakamatagal sa kulungan? Sabi niya, baka sila pinakapasaway nung panahong yun.
Yeah.
Di ba? So they were kept the longest in jail. So, growing up,
Sa BGC to, no?
at the fort and in
Sorry,
Lahore
BGC
also.
ng tawag niya.
It was of course Fort Bonifacio.
Exactly,
He
yeah.
spent most of his years there. Pero may panahon din siya sa Laur, wherein that was the time na hindi nila siya mahanap and they weren't sure kung ano nangyayari. So, I was a baby nung dinadala ako doon, ng magulang ko. And ang kwento nila is magbimisa every Sunday.
Right.
And dala-dala ako, tapos si Tito Ninoy magjo-joke daw yan. Iwan niyo tong baby na to dito, iiyak daw ako. That was the joke every weekend. But I don't have a memory of that. Wala akong memory nun.
Walang vlog, walang live
wala.
podcast.
Wala. There's just one photo. That's just it. One photo na dala-dala niya ako.
Oh, wow.
And that's my only time na physically magkasama kami. So,
You still have that?
I think my mom still has it, honestly. Kailangan kong hanapin.
Yeah, maybe.
Oo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but,
I mean, you're the torch holder now, man.
But, kumbaga, it's just peculiar for me kasi
Mm.
ang laking bagay niya sa buhay ko. And yet, yun lang talaga yung moment na yun. It's not even a real memory on my part. It's a story of my parents na, nung bata ka, nandito ka, ganyan. And then I was 6 when he was killed. That's 83, so hindi ka pa pinapanganak noon. Hindi ka pa rin pinapanganak noon. Si Sir Ronald siguro
Si
high
Ronald,
school.
medyo
Gumarcha.
senior
Gumarcha
citizen
ka
na
na,
siya
college
noon.
ka nun.
College.
Senior citizen na siya.
College. Fourth year college.
Fourth year ka. So you were in the thick of things na. Nasa student movement ka noon. So,
I was the first president of the student council in UST at the time.
Tama ba?
Martial law.
Did you guys know about who he was? Kasi yung kwento sa akin nila Kiko, yung mga student leaders daw noon, hindi daw siya kilala.
Well, kilala namin siya. Dalawa naki-influence sa akin eh. Si Pepe Jokno at saka si Ninoy. Dahil very articulate sila, very eloquent, no? At siguro kaya sila yung pinakamatagal. Dahil ang kilala ko sa kanilang dalawa, sila ang pinakamagaling na eloquent na mga senators noon. Yung kaya mong si Ninoy at si Pepe,
Oratorical,
kaya mong patawanin yung crowd.
Kaya mong paiyakin.
Kaya mong galitin, kaya mong patahimikin. Yung buong range ng human emotion, yung dalawa ang nakita kong
You know, one of the biggest compliments nung Monday, no? So I have every Monday nasa Magic ako with Mo Twister and Alex Calleja
Oh, wow.
and Sam O.
Mo Twister is back?
He's back. Matagal na.
Oh,
But
wow.
he's in the States. So remote siya.
Okay.
Sabi ni Alex, of course, stand-up comedian, inaral niya yung LA speech ni Tito Ninoy sa delivery niya of punchline. And for me, sobrang kinilig dun sa sinabi niya.
Magaling.
Yeah, because he was really a funny guy.
Yeah.
People just remember the moment na pinatay siya, but he was a real person, di ba? With his own story arc, his own redemption arc, sa totoo lang, because he was a very different person bago siya kinulong and a very different person nung nakalabas siya.
Can I
People don't talk about that,
Can
actually.
I pick on that? I mean, parang we can do the young Ninoy and the the redemptive Ninoy. No, a couple of interesting things. No, one of the discussion I have with some of my historian friends is apparently there's I don't know if it's rumor or more than rumor that at night daw tinatawag ni Marcos Sr. si Ninoy to have some long conversation until morning or something like that. Na parang he saw him as his peer or something like that. Or at least, even if it's rumor, if it's just a rumor, the idea was that Marcos Sr. saw Ninoy as his only real peer,
parang,
intellectually and all.
Parang rival, ganyan.
Rival and parang pare pasensya na unahan lang to, 'di ba? Parang ganun because both very ambitious men, both quite young,
And
both
brats,
brilliant.
both brats.
Both
Silon.
brilliant and all of that and parang the idea was sorry na lang, it was just a matter of who pulls the trigger earlier, but I still respect you. We are peers, we're rivals.
I know that there was at least one conversation na nakwento sa akin ng tatay ko.
Right.
And I know of one conversation at least. Hindi ko alam kung madalas yun. But I know that there were
There was at
moments
least
na
one,
nag-uusap
yeah.
sila. Yung sa speech naman niya, di ba? Sinabi niya na sinasabihan siya, pag nagkita kayo ni Marcos, sabihin mo, okay na tayo. Friends na tayo ulit, papalayain ka. That's in his speech, sa LA speech niya. But, he never did that.
And,
Diba?
I doubt it will work. I think
Oo.
Marcos Sr. is more Machiavellian than that.
Well, at that time kasi karamihan yata nag-compromise na di ba? Na
Yeah.
parang
Yes.
okay na tayo, peace na tayo, at pinalaya sila, di ba? So in his case, I don't think ginawa niya yun. And umabot siya ng 7 years and 7 months and it took a heart attack. And aminado naman siya, tuwan-tuwa siya nung pinaalis siya eh. Sabi niya, I was, in his speech, he says, di ba, parang sa tuwa ko, binigay ko pa yung anting-anting ko kay Mel D, di ba? That's the speech, right? So, like any human being, nung pinalaya siya, tuwa talaga siya. And he spent those years in America. He had a regular life there. Nagturo siya sa Harvard.
Right.
So, di ba, they say CIAC, Ninoy Aquino, but that's actually Center for International Affairs ng
Oh
Harvard, ng Harvard University.
Yeah.
Oo, so CIA, totoo naman CIA, pero Center for International Affairs, no? Unfortunate na pareho yung acronym niya.
There are other centers you could have,
Oo.
work. I would have
I know,
suggested
diba?
him in
So, CIA.
Harvard. Yeah.
So,
During that time, the US government is still supporting
Oo.
us.
that famous toast, di ba, na
Yeah.
for democracy, di ba?
Icon of democracy.
That's
But
George Bush.
When is
George
this?
Bush.
19...
During the Reagan years.
Reagan, 80s, early
So,
80s, yeah.
George Bush Sr. was
Yeah,
assigned
yeah,
to
yeah.
go here.
He went here.
At may video yan na tinutoast ng mga Marcos for icons of democracy.
Yeah.
Of course, mga 18th year na nila yun na presidente sila, di ba? So he had that life. And yet, umuwi siya. And I think more than the fact na nabaril siya, kasi I always say yung nabaril kasi siya, that was done to him. 'Di ba? Pero yung act niya, yung ginawa niyang choice talaga niya, was umuwi siya. He chose to go home. In his mind, pwede siya makulong ulit. Or kung swerte siya, baka ma-house arrest siya.
Right.
Of course, kung malas siya, baka patayin siya. But all of those options were there and he didn't know kung ano yung mangyayari. Hindi niya alam kung ano yung mangyayari sa buhay niya. Tita Cory would say in later years na yung balak lang naman niya was to talk to Marcos, who was sick at that time, and to ask na mag-transition na tayo back to democracy. So, Tita Cory would say, wala na talaga siyang balak to run. I don't know if you heard, did you hear the opposite, na he was planning on running?
Yun ang pinapalabas ng kabilang side. Kaya lang naman umuwi yan kasi may sakit na si McCoy, gusto niyang maging presidente.
Pero hindi lang kabilang side, Mark, di ba? I mean, I've heard even from neutral historians na the idea was that he saw himself as a unifier. He understood that the Marcos regime was falling apart. There was a debt crisis happening. I think my sense na siya, Marcos was unwell already. There was already factional between the Enrile faction and Imelda. So I won't be surprised if part of him didn't see it as a personal ambition, but as kind of a personal mission to bring the country together. Kasi na sense niya, you need the post-Marcos transition, and he's the best guy to carry the torch.
Definitely.
Medyo controversial pa nga yan eh.
Oo.
Yung iba sinasabi ay pwede naman siyang naghintay pa for a while. Yung iba sinasabi ay kinausap siya ng ilang Liberal Party leaders para bumalik to lead the opposition. Dahil nga nagsisimula na mag-unite yung opposition nun eh. No? So,
I'm
debate pa
sure
yan.
maraming kumuusap sa kanya. I'm
Oo.
sure. Bilang
Yeah.
isang politiko, marami talagang kakausap
Yeah.
sa'yo. But I'll go with Tita Cory's final interview. She had one interview before she passed away. And that's in the documentary, yung Last Journey of Dinoy. And doon niya
Right.
sinabi na yung balak naman niya was just to talk to Marcos and transition back to democracy. So, of course, may iniwala tayo kay Tita Cory, di ba?
course.
So, yun yung pinakabalak niya. Di ba? I mean, that's the only thing he wanted. And he knew, at the minimum, ikukulong siya.
Yeah, and he felt that he could be killed, and in public pa. I mean, the pain it will cause his loved ones.
Well, I think he said that kasi maraming tumatawag eh. Na, baka delikado buhay mo. Few people called him, because yung last journey niya to go to the Philippines, ang dami niyang dinaanan. Dumaan siyang Malaysia, dumaan siyang Taiwan,
yeah.
and every step may mga tumatawag sa kanya,
Huwag kang
friends,
umuwi,
supporters,
yeah.
either
Please,
huwag ka nang umuwi or mga ito yung mangyayari pag uwi mo, di ba? But there were definitely a few who said, o baka yung buhay mo delikado. And still, inuuwi pa rin siya. So, I think when people talk about bravery, yung katapangan, yung heroism, we have to look at that eh. Na here's a person who was presidentiable. I mean, literally presidential.
Youngest senator ever.
Ever, will forever be because they
Yeah.
changed the rules.
Yeah.
And then sobrang high flyer,
Yeah.
sobrang achiever, sobrang, di ba, touted to be the next president, and then suddenly prisoner number 1. Nakakulong ka for almost 8 years, largely forgotten. Tumakbo ka in 1978 from your jail cell, lost, di ba? Lost, although nagka-noise barrage, lost. Napalaya, masaya sa Amerika, pero umuwi. And I
Right.
think if you look at that arc, you will see somebody who chose to go home, chose to be part of the Philippines, no, dito sa struggle natin dito. And yun yung isang nakakalimutan kasi nakikita lang natin pinatay, napatay, 'di ba? And nakakalimutan natin yung journey na yun. If you go even further, Ninoy Aquino, the politician, was really
Yeah, I want to talk about that kasi parang there's almost two, I won't say mythos, I won't say myth. The first one is the Icarus, like young, ambitious, got too close to the sun and he
Totoo
got
yan.
burned.
Totoo
But the
yan.
second one is almost redemptive. It's very Christian, if I
Because
can put it that
nagbago
way.
kasi siya eh. And,
Exactly. Can we talk about that? The reason I talk about this, Bam, is because one of the most interesting insights I've heard is, ang idol ni Digong daw was the young Ninoy. Not in the sense that it
Well,
could be,
ang-
but in the sense that he could talk to all sides.
Maybe, but Digong himself has always said na he wouldn't be in public office kung wala si Tita Cory.
And that's true. So
Because-
there's always that weird Aquino connection of inspiration of
Because his
actual-
mother was the
Because
head
of
of the
Yeah.
opposition in
and they gave
Davao.
way to him. Yeah.
Yeah, you know the story, diba?
Yeah,
So,
that one I know. But what people don't know is that he actually looked up to Ninoy as a classic synthesizer, the guy who could talk to people across the political spectrum, get things going on. That's what I
To
understand.
be fair, never niya nakwento yun sa akin. Ang
Yeah.
nakwento lang niya sa akin when he was mayor and I will, naka-yellow pa siya nung panahon yun
Yeah.
in 2013 if you
Yung
remember.
kasama sila doon sa motorcade na naka...
At that time,
Yeah.
nung nakakausap ko siya and naka-yellow rin siya noon, he would always say na yung mother niya was the head of the opposition during martial law.
Right.
And in fact, when Tita Cory would go to Davao, yung nanay niya at si Tita Cory, yung magkasama sa sakyan, and his mother would be the one driving Tita Cory around. And Tita Cory offered his mom to be the OIC vice mayor, and the mother said, wag na lang ako, yung anak ko na lang kasi mas bata siya sa akin. And that's President Duterte. So there's that may
Digong
history.
dilaw, I think that's the term, right?
May
Digong
history
dilaw.
na gano'n,
Yeah, yeah,
like that's real. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
real history.
that I think is well known. I wanted to ask you because this is the less known or controversial or questionable take that actually
Idol niya si Tito Ninoy. I don't know about that.
I'm talking young Ninoy, that
yeah.
ambitious Icarus guy, who could, talk to the communists, talk to the the Americans, talk to the politicians, work the party through, like the ultimate consummate politician. In that
Actually, yung
sense.
isang mahalagang element dyan ay napunta siya sa politika because of EDSA.
Mhm.
At wala siyang balak maging politiko eh. Naging vice
This is
mayor
Digong,
siya.
right? This is Digong.
Naging vice
Sorry,
mayor
yeah,
siya
sorry.
because of EDSA.
Yeah.
Nung panahon na yon.
Yeah.
Actually, hinarang pa nga siya ni Nene Pimentel.
Really?
Oo, dahil ang apelido niya, Roa.
Okay.
Roa, kalaban, mga kaaway ng mga Pimentel yan sa Mindanao.
Yan, hindi ko alam yan.
So, nung una, ay ayaw siyang payagan na, in-appoint sila noon after EDSA. No? Kaya, eventually, yung,
Interesting.
ang
I didn't know
gusto niya maging, tawag dati, yung ombudsman, yung local
Parang
ombudsman.
prosecutor-ish.
Yun yung gusto niya, yun na, parang lawyer siya, no?
Yeah.
Well, fiscal na siya eh. Fiscal na siya at that time, di ba?
Yeah, pero yung parang ombudsman type yung
Yeah.
gusto niya. No, yung ganong klaseng
Ay mga interesting histories, di ba?
Yeah.
Pero going back, si Tito Ninoy, he was the youngest everything. No, he was youngest journalist at 17 who covered
Korean
the
War.
Korean War at 17.
Yeah.
He was a young vice mayor, a young mayor, a young vice governor, one of the youngest governors, and then the youngest senator in our history.
And then covered the Jabida massacre. What was that angle?
No, that was during the Senate days na yun. di ba?
Yes.
Senate days
Senador na
na
siya,
yun.
no?
Oh, yeah.
Expose.
Debate na yan over Sabah, Malaysia.
Yeah.
That was his expose na
Expose niya yun.
na pinatay yung mga na-train, di ba?
Special forces were supposed to go there and get the ball rolling.
Something like that,
Yeah,
di ba?
yeah.
And that was one of his big exposés.
Yes.
So he was also known for his exposés.
Fiscalizer.
Ano nga
Dahil
tawag
gusto ni
doon?
Marcos nun i-take over ng Sabah. Parang part ng isang plot yun.
Ano nga,
Yeah.
Project Sagittarius ba?
Yes.
So martial law was called Project Sagittarius and he had also exposed na may gantong plot and of course walang naniwala. Tama na, walang naniwala at that time.
Yeah.
Masyadong fantastical to imagine na
Yeah.
magma-martial law ang isang demokrasya. Di ba? At that time,
Yeah.
pero nangyari siya.
Because
It
we're the
happened.
oldest democracy in this region.
Kumbaga, at that time, di mo maisip na magdi-dictatorship ang Pilipinas. Even though maraming dictatorship sa paligid natin noong panahong yun,
Yeah.
yung mga Pilipino mismo, and yung mga politiko, hindi nila ma-imagine na gagawin ni Marcos yun. Pero ginawa nila, di ba?
So Ninoy could see that. He had that kind of sophistication.
Well, he had the intel actually.
Yeah.
But he was
Ah,
also
yeah.
known to get a lot of intel
That's
from
what I'm
different
saying. He
people.
has a lot of connection,
Oh,
right? Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
But going back, no, nung senador siya, he was one of the few senators who was also on TV at the same time he was a senator.
Right.
So, kumbaga, kung ngayon to, siguro nasa TikTok siya or
Yeah,
he would be an influence.
everything,
But
yeah.
he used the new technologies at that
Meron
time.
siyang sariling
diba?
show?
Yes. May sarili siyang show at yung director niya, yung tita ko, si Tita Lupita, who's a known director. So, if I'm not mistaken, it was a regular weekly TV show.
Mhm.
And that was unique for that time.
So, anong klaseng show siya? Parang they talk about the latest issues, gano'n?
Parang alam
May
ko, magazine
nagreklamo
show
ba?
eh.
Parang Tulfo, gano'n?
Ay, alam mo, honestly, hindi ko alam. I can find out. But nagulat lang ako na,
I didn't know
even
that
back
also.
then, may ganung aspeto na siya.
Journalist siya. So,
Oh.
Kayang-kaya niya yung current
Hindi-
affairs.
hindi
Kasi
malayo.
current affairs na
Hindi niya kailangan
He
ng
was
bardagulan.
one of the first ones who campaigned in a helicopter. So, sikat rin siya for that, na nag-hopping siya. Ngayon, medyo normal na yun yung mga tumatakbo, naka-helicopter.
Yeah.
But at that time, it was really a small, nakita ko yung photo, it's a small helicopter, parang 2 tao lang sila.
Right.
And pupunta sila sa iba't ibang mga probinsya,
Right.
in one go, and you know, again, it was innovative
He,
for that
he's
time.
definitely innovator at the cutting edge. I mean, he even reminds me of the Navalny, right?
Mhm.
Who would do TikTok himself. Who would and this kind of dynamic martyr hero, but complex character politician.
Very complex. Kasi
Very
alam mo,
complex character. Right?
like ito kausap ko si Luke Espiritu. Okay, si Luke
Right.
Espiritu. Luke Espiritu is another guy na he always says idol niya si Tito Ninoy.
Interesting.
So we had a conversation, we captured it for content, no? And sabi niya, alam mo, ako gustong-gusto ko talaga yung tito mo kasi he was pushing for agrarian reform early on.
Yes.
Sabi ko, di ba yun nga yung batikos nga about
Hacienda
Luisita and all of that. But on the Aquino side kasi,
Kuwang ko yun eh. Yeah,
exactly, on the
yeah.
Aquino side, as early as the 70s, I think, all of our land was given away because Tito Ninoy wanted it to be given
I didn't
away
know that.
as early as
Really?
then. Yeah.
Inspired by what? Moral grounds? By ideological grounds? What was going on there?
If you ask attorney Luke, parang may pagka-ideological grounds. I don't know. I don't
Maybe
know.
he's overreading into it.
But the fact na as early as then, he was
Yeah.
seen as one of the people who really pushed for agrarian reform, even though maybe hindi niya nagawa with his in-laws.
Yeah.
Pero sa pamilya mismo namin, napamigay niya, 'di ba? And again, very complex because
Ahead of his time,
he
too.
did work in Luisita as a young man. Nagtrabaho rin siya doon. So, alam mo 'yon, may mga complexities na ganyan. At that time, he was part of the Northern Bloc. Si Tarlac wasn't seen as Central Luzon, it was North.
Yeah.
Noong time na yun. So, Northern Bloc of governors, which included sila Chavit and, the...
Chavit.
Sa Nueva Ecija, the... Hosons. That's part of that bloc also, di ba? In the Senate, did you know na lumipat rin si Tito Ninoy ng partido? You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He went from
Synthesizer,
NP
yeah,
to
yeah.
LP.
LP. Si Marcos naman, from
Nag-LP
LP to NP.
So nag-crossover sila. And this is the pre-Solid North, diba? Kasi Solid North is a Marcos consolidation of my region.
Pre,
Ilocos.
yan.
This is this is the precursor to Solid North.
So, he
Yeah,
had, though, I mean, he's a real person. I guess yun yung pinaka-point ko. Totoong tao siya. May sarili siyang history, may mga sarili siyang pinagdaanan, may mga highs and lows. If you look at the legislative record of Tito Ninoy,
Right.
his biggest law was Study Now, Pay Later. Siya ang nagsabatas ng Study Now, Pay Later law. Diba? I mean, nobody talks about, senador siya, ano yung napasa niyang batas?
Where
Diba?
was he getting all of these ideas? Is the man also ahead of his time? I mean,
Alam mo,
Ano nag-influence sa kanya?
yun nga, nag-abroad.
Readings,
Is this
uh,
abroad? Is this...
theoreticians,
Yun nga,
I don't know
intellectuals.
eh. Honestly,
Yeah.
like you don't see that in any of his writings.
Yun
eh.
nga,
Kung
you
ano
need
yung
an intellectual
ideological
history of
background
him.
niya.
He's a fascinating.
Nung nakilala ko siya, at least from a distance, nakikita, he's not a pie-in-the-sky idealist.
Yeah.
Hindi rin naman siya isang cynical pragmatist.
He's a pragmatic idealist. He's a pragmatic
siyang
idealist,
balancing.
yeah.
He's a very sophisticated politician.
Right.
No? Pero at the same time, malinaw yung lalim ng kanyang prinsipyo, yung kanyang moral, ideological
Yung core.
rings, di ba?
Well, those
But Bobby's
movies,
saying that will come later on even more,
I think
right?
lumalim siya nung
Yeah,
nakakulong
exactly. Yeah, you didn't read
I don't know kung si Sir Ronald, nakulong ka ba, Sir Ronald?
Several times.
Several. Yung matagal?
Hindi
Hindi,
pa.
yung ano lang, incarcerated,
yeah,
no?
Yeah.
But in his case kasi, and I'm sure many of the people watching are younger than us, so baka hindi
Yeah,
alam.
exactly.
But in those 7 years and 7 months, nag-hunger strike siya.
Yeah,
because he
pumayat
felt
siya
that,
ng lot. Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
He felt that he was unjustly being kept in jail. In fact, hindi ako nagkakamali, wala pa talagang formal charges yun for a long time, di ba?
Yeah.
Nakulong siya na wala mang formal charges.
Anong rason ulit ang sinabi ng Marcos government? Bakit siya nakulong? Ba't siya
Was it
Sedition ba?
Sedition,
Yeah,
treason?
Sedition, yeah.
Hindi lang sedition kasi firing squad eh. So it had to be higher than sedition. Had to be higher than that.
Conspiracy to
Well, di ko
overthrow
alam
the
kung
government.
Anong
mga
case
ganun.
yung
Yeah.
talagang technical case ng kinuha sa
Oh,
kanya.
but
Pero
tinatulan siya ng
kasabay,
death.
kasabay niya mga komunista eh.
Yeah.
No? Nilinya siya.
Mm.
Nakita ko yung picture niya eh. Kasabay niya sila Victor Corpus, kasabay niya sila Roger Posadas,
Mm.
no? Mga kwanto eh, mga central committee. No?
Kumbaga red tag na siya.
Politburo,
Oo.
Politburo yung katabi
Oo.
niya.
The
Oo.
original red tag, di ba?
Yes,
Sure, that
yes.
time maraming red tag.
Yes, yes.
So,
And this is the yellow-red conspiracy theory na, di ba? Magkatabi yung liberal.
Wala
at
pa yung yellow nito.
Actually,
I'll tell you about the yellow.
But I mean, like
Oo.
in a retrospective,
Oo.
pinaproject na Aquino is the embodiment of yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, at that time, he was, of course, dinakip siya. And nasa kulungan siya for almost 8 years. Pero mahaba rin yung panahon yun. Noong time na naka-solitary confinement siya, they were torturing him mentally. They would play White Christmas 24 hours para mabaliw siya. You heard that? About that? Did you know that?
Hindi ko
They would
narinig
play
yan.
White Christmas sa PA
Mm.
for 24 hours, paulit-ulit, para mabaliw talaga siya. They took out his glasses, wala siya makita, and he really lost weight. And eventually, nung bumalik siya sa fort at he was under trial, dun siya nag-hunger strike. And he says it naman sa documentary, he says, you know, I wanted to die. Gusto ko na mamatay kasi nakita ko yung height of being a senator, being in power, being a presidentiable, and now, talagang laglag. Iniwan talaga siya ng mga tao. Iniwan siya ng mga tao. Tanong ko nga dyan sa nanay, tatay, sabi ko, kung presidentiable ka, tapos dinakip siya, wala mang nag-rally.
Yun nga.
Wala mang nag-rally. Walang protesta, wala.
Takot sigurong ma-arresto rin.
That's what my parents said. Oh, maraming takot. But you were there. What was...
Well, nung panahon na yun eh, talagang first time yung martial law eh. So lahat takot eh, no? Tapos troops in the streets, no? Talagang
So, tamay lahat.
Oo, tamay lahat, no? At ang daming hinuli nun eh. Nung panahon na yan, yung mga first, second wave.
So, you can imagine.
Yung mother ko kasi nasa Department of National Defense eh.
Really?
Oo, nasa kwan siya, ODA, Office for Detainees Affairs. Kaya kinikwento habang lumalaki ako, kinikwento ng mother ko yung mga nangyayari sa loob, no? Talagang lahat takot. No?
Yeah. So, can imagine from the height of, you know, being a presidential, supposedly lalaban siya kay Imelda. 'Di ba in 73? That's the story. That's the storyline na suddenly prisoner number 1 ka, nakakulong ka. Sabi talaga niya, I wanted to die.
Yung
Gusto
Icarus,
ko
diba?
mamatay.
Sabi ko, yung parang
Diba?
myth of
Got
Icarus.
burned, no?
Yeah, grabe.
And during the time that he was doing his hunger strike, kinausap siya nung ni Father de la Costa, who's a very famous priest sa Ateneo, na alam mo ba, matapang ka, actually being a coward by doing this. And I think
You
that
mean
was
giving up
by
on
giving
life?
up,
Yeah, I
yes.
know what you're
So I
saying.
think yun yung time na medyo nag-start rin
Yung faith niya.
yung faith.
A new layer of him came out into full fruition, parang ganun. Because he's a complex, multi-layered person.
He has
Yeah.
this poem about
Interesting.
the candle, di ba? And if you read that poem na parang make me a candle, parang ganyan. If you really try to understand it, it's just saying na lahat tayo kandila and we try to provide light at that moment in history, pero at any time pwede ka ring mawala, di ba? So I think for him, maybe when he was a politician, he felt, I'm the guy. Alam mo yun? I'm the
man.
presidential. But
Yeah.
at some point nakakulong siya, nakita niya na, oh maybe I'm not the guy. Maybe I have a role to play. I'm like this candle na maybe
Serve
now
its
mailaw
purpose.
ako,
Yeah.
I've served my purpose,
Yeah, I
and
know
it's done. You know, that's one of his famous poems na sinulat niya. And I guess by the time na nakalaya na siya, that was in his head na maybe I have a role to play to bring back my country to democracy. And marami, we all have a role to play. That's my role. Maybe it's to talk to Marcos and to come home.
Interesting.
So, that change happened. And a lot of people don't realize na malaking pagbabago yun sa buhay niya. 'Di ba? And ako, growing up, ang nakikita ko, yung Ninoy na, nasa kulungan na at pagkatapos. Kasi most of the interviews are from that period. But if you talk to people before, who knew him before, they would say
Right.
talaga he was a consummate politician, he was using
Yes.
all the tools.
Machiavellian even, I've
all
heard
the
that.
tools to really like make sure na umangat siya, 'di ba? So that's an interesting story. Very totoong tao siya. Three-dimensional yung kwento niya, may story arc,
Absolutely.
'di ba? Now when he finally came home, if you remember, there's that shot. Sasabi nga nila, 'di ba, Tito Ninoy, yung assassination niya is one of the assassinations caught on film. Because you actually
One of
see
the
it
first
happening.
major ever,
You see it happening, di ba? Pag pick up sa kanya ng militar, if you go back to the YouTube video, iba yung mukha niya eh. his face really changes. Do you remember that shot?
Yeah.
Di ba?
Mm.
Mag-iiba mukha kasi patawa-tawa siya. He's very ano siya, he's very entertaining, di ba?
Yes.
Ini-entertain niya yung reporter, yung mga flight attendant,
All the
mga
fans
ganyan.
inside the
Oh,
plane.
meron pang si
yeah.
crying lady, yung kinis pa siya,
Yeah,
mga ganyan. di ba?
yeah,
It's all
yeah.
caught. But when the military comes in, tapos dinakip siya, kinuha yung kamay niyan
Yeah,
ganyan.
immediately.
Iba yung mukha
Bago.
niya. Bago yung mukha niya. And I always think to myself, nagsisi siya at that point na umuwi siya.
Suddenly realized, oops.
I made a mistake.
Yeah, oops. I crossed the line. Parang ganun.
Di ba?
Yeah.
And
Got real.
yun yung lagi kong it got real sa akin.
Yeah.
And yun yung nasa isip ko. Tumatas balahibo ko ngayon ha.
Ganda na siya. Yeah. Oh,
Di ba?
Parang ganun.
Oh shit, di ba? Parang ganyan.
we're
So,
here.
I always think to myself, at that moment, isip ba niya, kamali ba ako na umuwi ako? Kasi you can really see the seriousness of his face, kung paano nagbago yun.
Nag-dawn
And
in sa
Kung
kanya.
bibilangin
Oh.
mo yung segundo, wala pang 1 minute.
Yeah.
He's shot in less than a minute from that time nagbago yung mukha niya. And, you know, I always think to myself, wala siyang nakitang EDSA revolution, hindi niya alam kung ano mangyayari.
Mm.
He went into this just thinking that this is what I have to do.
Mm.
And when he died, he didn't see any of the protests. He didn't see the 1 million
That's
people
nice.
noong August 31 sa burol niya, sa yung papunta sa Manila Memorial. He didn't see people coming out. Wala siya nakita nun eh. 'Di ba? Ang nakita lang niya, I decided to come home. Pinik up ako ng militar, and you hear pusila, which is shoot. Of course, he passes away, 'di ba? So, get to think, ano kaya ang nasa isip niya at that moment
Ano
na
yung
dinakip
naramdaman
siya?
niya?
Ano naramdaman niya, di ba?
But wasn't it also, I mean, the rosary, the faith, I mean, Jesus Christ at this moment too, right? When he was, asking like, is the, crucifixion, is this really the way?
Let
I mean,
this
I think
cup pass.
exactly. I think anyone who really is a man of faith or woman of faith at some point realizes it's about doing the right thing, and then the rest is beyond me, and I don't even have to think about it. So the humans, you're talking about the human side of him, but I think there was this parang spiritual
faith.
side of it, like parang eto na yung faith ko, I'll just embrace it.
And I think that's the heroic part.
That's
hindi
why
clear
we
na ngayon
respect the guy. Yeah,
Bakit ba hero si Ninoy Aquino? Kasi nasa 500, may statue, airport. But sayang yung kwento. Sayang yung kwento niya na part ng kwento natin. 'Di ba? Kwento ng Pilipinas. And what you mentioned na that faith, that's why he
that's
went
the last thing that will hold you, right? Because everything
that's why he went
else
home.
is consequential. What will it bring for me? Will it mean great and all? But faith is what says, I don't care about it. I just have to do what I have to do,
exactly.
which is what every heroic figure. Mark, I want to ask you: is this coming as I don't know? Is this? How do you find this conversation about all of this dimension of Ninoy? Kasi, Pam, to be honest, diba? They're like very two-dimensional or binary. Either, he's a perfect man, parang hero, and and then the other, or santo essentially, and the other side is, he's this and this and that. But now we're showing the 360 degrees, which makes him even more heroic because he's even more
Ito
relatable.
kasi Mark ang medyo iba ang mundo sa amin ito
Kasi
si Richard kahit
to
paano.
be honest,
Nabahira
this
nito
is how
ng-
I view it eh. Iba yung
And that's why I appreciate Mark's
iba
perspective.
yung pre-2016, iba yung post-2016 eh. Kasi before naging presidente si Digong, everyone knew about, parang everyone knew that he was a hero, yung ginawa niya, yung pagkakulong sa kanya, he fought for democracy, he fought against martial law. So alam we saw that on TV. Tapos nung pagpasok nitong si Duterte nung 2016, siguro yun yung way nila to weaken yung nakikita nila na malakas na political forces. Kasi the only way to parang padapain yung Aquino and Yellow na political juggernaut at that time was to
Destroy.
destroy it.
But Mark, I want to ask you, you are the expert. There was already the monkey cage, on YouTube. I mean,
As early as 2009.
yeah, exactly. So my sense is, because my political consciousness comes in late 2000s, right? Is noon pa lang I saw already this disinformation, counter narratives, and also skepticism, because you would listen to people and say, if these people were so great, why is the Philippines so poor, so backward? You know what I'm saying? So it's not like Duterte. It didn't follow from the coconut tree.
Hyper
But he built on something,
Parang
right?
They
And then he
were
brought it to
already,
the next level.
kumbaga, they were already planting the seeds.
Exactly,
of
planting
doubt
the seeds,
that
yeah.
time. Pero nung the weaponization of Facebook in 2015, 2016, And alam natin hindi unique yan because the exact same thing happened sa Amerika eh. With Donald
and sa
Trump.
UK,
Diba?
with Brexit.
Everywhere, yeah.
And
Brazil, India,
And it's the
Turkey.
same people, by the way. It's the same group. It's Cambridge Analytica and all of their derivatives who did that, di ba? So, alam mo,
Cubao Analytica.
yes, of course, merong disinformation na umiikot. But, there was a study done recently. And lumalabas doon sa study na pagdating kay Tito Noy and Tita Cory, people, so may positive and negative to.
Yeah,
So
of course.
they already look at them parang at the same level as the heroes of 100 years ago.
Ilustrados.
Kumbaga parang they're already part of the consciousness ng mga tao. Unfortunately, in that study, it was Pinoy whose reputation was really hit hard during the Duterte time. Pero Tito Noy and Tita Cory, parang nasa ibang level na sila. They're at that level already. Like, kunyari, you talk about, si Aguinaldo, pinapatay si Bonifacio.
Yeah.
But that, their place in our history is already there.
Pantheon na sila.
Parang ganyan.
Pantheon
The
na
bad
sila.
part
yeah.
about that is
Yeah.
wala na yung personal connection, which
Exactly.
people of
Good
my
point.
age and Ronald's age still have to that time.
Good
Like,
point.
yung mga edad namin, alam namin yung where we were on August 21. Like ikaw, how did you find out na pinatay si Tito Ninoy?
You remember that day?
Yeah.
Your emotions, how are you
Yeah.
feeling? Can you tell us about that
Yeah.
day? Kasi the
Kasi,
outpouring of emotions. Yeah.
Well, nung balitaan namin yan, nakita namin sa news, sa television, no?
The following
So,
day.
so
na-
kinover naman siya ng news.
Oh,
Kinover naman siya.
news,
Hindi naman siya binlock out.
Lahat kami gusto na lumabas eh. No? Pero
How many
sino
hours before it happened,
sino ba-
before
hindi
niyo
ko sure
na-find
kung
out?
hindi ko sure kung yung oras, no. Pero alam ko on that day alam na.
That day, alam
No?
na.
At lahat gusto na lumabas. Dahil
Hindi ka kasama sa grupo na pumunta sa airport.
hindi.
Hindi. Or
pero,
even-
pero alam ko na may mga pumunta. Nasa
Yeah.
news din 'yon. Nasa news, lumabas sa news na may pumunta eh.
What do
Sa-
you lumabas?
sa
Hindi ba censored dapat ang news? May management? What the heck
Well,
was going on?
that was 83 eh. No,
Yeah.
Tail end na. Tail end
Tail
of
end
the
na. Medyo
Merong-
humihina na.
dictatorship.
merong partial or artificial lifting ng martial
Yeah.
law nung 81.
Medyo hybrid na siya,
So
hybrid,
may
yeah.
counting mixture na
So,
yan.
Not martial law, but
Oo.
dictatorship.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Kaya alam mo na may pumunta. Alam mo na may nangyari.
So-
Nung simula nga hindi mo sigurado eh. Totoo, brazen, araw, ginawa yan.
Harap
with
ng lahat ng
everybody.
tao, with the reporters
so
right there,
yung
no?
una, hindi ka makapaniwala eh. No? Kaya nakadagdag yun sa galit. Actually, nakadagdag yun dun sa trigger. Nakadagdag yun sa pagkatalayas na.
Garapalan.
Sobrang brazen
Garapalan.
ito.
oo.
Sobrang brazen ito.
So, my father, my mother, my two brothers pumunta sa airport. Okay.
Nasaan kayo nun? Sorry,
So I was 6 years old. I was heavily obese at that time. Taba talaga ako. So sabi ng nanay ko, kung magkagulo, hindi kita mabubuhat, di ba? Kasi yung nanay ko pare, na water cannon, na tear gas, na hardcore. Nanay ko pinaka-hardcore sa aming lahat. So alam niya kung magkagulo, tatakbuhan yan. So hindi kita mabubuhat. Diyan ka lang sa bahay. So diyan ka. So naiwan ako sa bahay. I know it's funny now, di ba? But at that time, where my brothers going, yung dalawang kapatid ko, they were teenagers. Pumunta sila. And I just remember that day, yung kasambahay namin, magdasal ka, dito ka may malit kaming altar dun sa bahay namin. You pray, may nangyari sa tito mo. And I remember so yung bahay kasi namin, yung door, para siyang sliding door. So parang ganyan.
Okay.
So makikita mo yung people outside. I remember my brothers and my mother there. Nag-uusap sa labas, haba ng mga muka. And parang you just have a core memory na
Right.
may nangyari.
Something
May
big,
nangyari.
bad happened, yeah.
So my dad, he was in the jeep. I don't even think it was a van. In the jeep that brought the body of Tito Ninoy to Fort Bonifacio.
Oh.
Okay, kasama siya. And si Tito Ninoy, growing up, he's much older than my dad. Para siya yung kuya talaga eh.
Right.
And maloko siya. He would play pranks on his brothers. Every the Butch kinakwento niya. Maloko talaga si Tito Ninoy. Funny guy, ganyan. And kinakwento ng tatay ko sa akin na kasama sila. The body was actually not even naka-elevate. Nandun lang, nasa baba. And he kept on thinking to himself, this can't be real. This must be a prank. Baka pinaprank ako ng kapatid. Like, ganun yung nasa isip niya. Pinaprank ako nito. Imposibleng namatay siya.
Sobrang surreal kasi
Sobrang
nangyari.
surreal.
Yeah.
And then at one point daw, parang may hump and then gumalaw yung kamay ni Tito Ninoy, tapos
She-
nadaplisan
Oh
siya.
my God!
And his only
Oh,
thought was,
wow.
see, I knew it was
It's
a prank. He must
yeah.
be alive.
So denial talaga siya
In
all out.
denial siya.
Yeah.
Ano, in many ways, I think that trauma is still there for my
Absolutely.
father.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, kami naman, sumunod kami sa Times. And yung unang gabi was in the house, sa bahay sa Times. Yung bahay sa Times, hindi siya gated subdivision ah. So, wala siyang,
Yeah.
ano siya, doon na, Quezon Avenue na yan, di ba? So, nandun siya sa bahay. Kasi ang expectation ng mga kapatid ni Tito Ninoy, Tita Cory was in Boston, hindi pa siya umuwi. Expectation nila, ano bang pupunta? O konti lang yung pupunta. So, doon lang talaga
Kasi
sa
takot
bahay.
lahat. I mean, this is a
Yeah.
horrible, yeah.
But that first night, nakita nila, pumipila yung mga tao. And umabot siya ng maybe, 2-3 kalsada. And then the next night, lumipat na sa Santo Domingo, where it was a bigger venue. But can you imagine kasi looking at it now, from 2024 hindsight, you'd think differently, di ba? Na, heroes welcome, marami kaagad yung nag-mourn. Hindi eh.
Hindi
Hindi
given
ganun
yan
eh.
eh. Exactly,
Hindi
yeah, yeah.
At that time, they thought, he's a former senator, 8 years na wala, 3 years na sa, so 10 years na siya from public service.
And people are scared.
People
and-
are scared.
Yeah.
Nakalimutan lang to. So, that's how it started. 'Di ba? So, to get to 86 and the EDSA revolution, it's really a miracle. For those who were alive at that time, hindi mo ini-expect. And kami naman, bilang family members, so nag-start na yung mga protesta. Nag-start yung mga protests. And the first one that they would look for, si Tita Cory, of course. And then my lola, si Lola Aurora. And then yung mga kapatid, Tito Butch, and the other siblings. And Chris, of course, was already speaking in crowds at that time. And then way down the list is ako. Only because at that time, they wanted to have a family member na magsalita sa mga protesta. So, at 6, I was doing my part. I had a memorized speech. My mom made my speech. Pero mabigat siya about diktatorya ni Pangulong Marcos, ganyan. And from 6 years old to 9 years old, maybe over 200 speaking engagements. All the way till EDSA. And dumaan ka dyan sa 84 Batasang Pambansa elections, dumaan ka sa snap elections, until EDSA, until the first senatorial in 87, which was also the constitutional
Convention.
plebiscite, di ba? Now, ang perspective ko as a young boy, seeing that, nung nagsisimula kami, and this is late 83, so August namatay si Tito Ninoy, siguro within a month or two, nagsa-start na yung mga protesta. Sobrang liit ng mga protesta. Like, 40 tao, masaya ka na. Remember that time?
Yeah.
Pag may 40 tao, feeling mo, laking bagay na eh, di ba?
Nung namatay si Ninoy,
What
it was qualitatively different. Paano? Rally naman kami ng rally eh. Pero
What changed ba? What changed after
well,
that?
nag-rally kami lang. No? Nung namatay si Ninoy, pag nagmamarcha ka, lumalabas yung mga tao, nagbibigay ng pagkain, nagbibigay ng
Snowball
tubig,
siya,
gumagawa
nag-snowball
ng
siya,
mga
yeah.
homemade placards, pamilya. Eh dati takot ang mga tao dahil martial law eh. No? At medyo tumatama yung red tagging ng panahon na yun. Dahil halimbawa kami, social democratic underground kami noon eh. Hindi kami kasama doon sa communist underground. No? Pero ang identification sa amin, mga komunista rin. Di ba? Dahil wala naman difference ng
Yeah,
panahon na yun eh.
leftist,
No?
yeah.
Kahit at that time, ang kasama namin sila Raul Daza, sila Father Intengan, ang identification sa amin kay Ninoy. No? Pero yung mga karaniwang tao, hindi alam yung difference nung panahon na yun. Nung namatay si Ninoy, nakita na yung mga differences, yung political spectrum. At ang pinakamahalaga, pag nagmamarcha kayo, lumalabas yung mga tao. Unlike nung bago namatay, nung buhay pa si Ninoy, nung nasa US siya, yung mga rallies ay kayo lang.
Okay lang.
Dito, talaga makikita mo, labasan ng mga tao.
And ako, nakita ko yun. Na as a child, nakita ko yun.
Deluge, no? Yung deluge.
Hindi siya deluge, hindi siya instant eh.
Trickle siya.
It built up.
Snowball.
Di ba, sir, di ba?
Yeah.
Snowball.
Yeah.
Snowball.
And I
Hindi,
remember,
pero yung Santo Domingo was a game changer.
well, August 31
Yeah.
was
That
a
was
game changer.
deluge. That was the deluge.
But even then, nung may mga protesta na, so ako, I'd come back from school, I'd do my homework, go to sleep. Sa gabi, nalarga na kami. And ano yan, my mother, ako, my brother, so siksikan kami sa isang, ano makasakay kami, Telstar. I don't know if you remember. Di nyo alam yung Telstar?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
that car, yeah.
And,
Boxy
car,
Yeah, I
oo.
know that, yeah.
Siguro mga ano yun, 3 sortie na yun on a weekday. Aabot kami ng furthest on a weekdays Batangas sa south, and maybe aabot kami ng Tarlac sa north. But sometimes it's 4 corners of Tondo, 4 na
Right.
kanto ng Tondo, and tag 50 people. Yung stage noon, 4 na drum, plywood, tsaka megaphone. Ganun lang. And then eventually after a year, suddenly naging plaza na. Oh, marami na yung mga tao, parang plaza na. And then people would start to come. And then eventually, palaki ng palaki, which led to the snap elections, di ba? But
Yung story nung Yellow, you were saying
oh,
ganun na.
so Yellow is from Taya Yellow Ribbon, the
Right.
song,
Yeah.
di ba? So Tito Ninoy's color was not yellow when he was running.
No.
What was it? White and black and white, di ba?
I'm not sure about the
Or
color.
wala pa atang kulay nung
Hindi pa uso yung branding na ng-
Hindi pa
Context.
Ako kasi I was referring to the Enrile retrospective of, Liberal Party or like Aquinos and the communists and all together. But you're absolutely right. I mean, that comes after him, right?
Eh, so they used, because yung kanta ng Taya Yellow Ribbon tungkol sa preso. 'Di ba? If you still want me, Taya Yellow Ribbon on the old oak tree. So the song itself bagay kay Tito Ninoy, na preso, nakulong, nawala, babalik. If you still want to see me, Taya Yellow Ribbon. Doon siya naging yellow.
Which is why South Koreans also have that, right? May yellow ribbon din yung mga ibang leaders nila, if I remember.
Because nakulong rin yung mga
yeah, yung
ibang
iba sa
leaders.
kanila during the dictatorship
That's
of Park.
that's how
It's a universal,
that's how yellow became a
Yeah.
thing, 'di ba? Because of the song.
Right.
So Tito Ninoy actually didn't see the yellow.
The color.
Hindi nakita, 'di ba? Na the yellow ribbon was for him, and the yellow, wala siya nakita doon. He didn't see the people. So hindi naman ganun karaming tao yung pumunta sa airport. But they were mostly friends and family and supporters who were there.
And they brought yellow ribbon? I mean,
May mga yellow, alam ko nakaputi sila, pero may mga yellow ribbons, 'di ba? Tama ba?
Hindi ko sure.
Hindi
Nung
ko sure,
panahon na
no?
yun.
But-
Hindi pa tayo conscious sa colors nun.
Ah, okay,
Nung panahon na
okay.
yun, nagsisimula pa lang.
But I'm wondering about the
Branding.
symbolism, symbolism.
Yeah.
It's about na preso na kung gusto mo
Yeah.
makitang umuwi, yung Taya
The
Yellow
yellow
Ribbon,
ribbon,
diba?
yes. No? Pero yung kulay ng mga political groupings, no? Hindi pa,
Hindi pa siya,
ganun.
hindi pa
Wala pa yun. No?
It became really a thing in the snap elections na si Marcos Sr. naka-red
Yeah.
at si Tita Cory naka-dilaw. Yun,
Yeah.
yun talaga yung kulay na yun.
Tsaka lahat ng dadaanan mo, talagang may yellow, may ribbon talaga. No?
So,
Snap election.
back to the airport. So, my lola was there. And according to my dad, kahit marami silang mga anak, Tito Ninoy was really the favorite. Like, aminado sila na siya yung paborito. And he, of course, was killed practically in front of her. Kasi she was there at the tube. Nasa tube siya. So, I mean, the plane is there, the stairs were there, nandito yung tube. Hindi siya pinadaan sa tube. So one of my, I think it was Uncle Ken, who is married to my aunt, Tita Lupita, who was with Tito Ninoy. I remember him telling us na nung hindi siya pinadaan sa tube, he knew something wrong. He knew there was something wrong. Kasi nandun na eh. Malapit na sa tube eh, di ba? Eh, nandito na yung supporters or yung ilan pinapasok. And yet, dinivert siya pababa ng hagdan, di ba? So, my lola was right there. And she was the one who said, huwag ayusin. And,
So that the crime can be obvious
so
for the rest of
the line that supposedly she said, and these are in the books, although I never heard her say it herself, but in the books nakalagay na, sabi niya, let the world see what they did to my son. And, I mean, astig rin siya. Sobra siyang astig, di ba?
She realized
to-
this is now something really world historical. I mean, potential, right? This is a martyr now. He's
Well,
now.
I think it was more of yung galit niya. Let the
Mm.
world see what they did to my son. There's a shot of her with, I think, Lorenzo Tañada. And they're together crying. There's a famous picture of them crying. And
Mm.
can only imagine, di ba, kung ano yung nasa isip rin niya. So, those days, things happened very, very fast.
Of course.
And unexpected. Kasi ang expectation talaga, at least ng tatay ko is, kung swerte ka, house arrest. Ganyan. Kung hindi ka swerte, babalik ka sa fort. The idea na papatayin siya, although people had said it, so far,
Surreal, yeah.
far from their realm of possibility, di ba? So, this story I think is worthy of being told.
So shall we ask the question? I mean, who was it? I mean, it's inevitable. Like, why is it such a big debate until now? I mean, how is your family coping with the mystery around that or supposed mystery?
Well, I'll go with remember yung
Sorry, I had to ask that because
no problem.
I would be remiss in my duty if I don't ask that part, diba?
I also asked this question. by
Speaking
the
of
way.
anger and justice
Yung tanong
and
dyan is,
let
why
the
didn't
world
Tita
see.
Cory have a witch hunt
Yeah.
during her time, di ba? And tinanong ko yan sa tatay ko rin. Marami akong tanong sa tatay ko kasi obviously I was like 9 years old during that time.
Right,
di ba?
right.
So yung una kong tanong, bakit walang witch hunt? Which is something everybody asks. Yung pangalawang tanong ko is, why did we allow many of these politicos na pro-Marcos to get back? To get back. Those are my two questions, okay? So, unang-una, according to my dad,
Mhm.
and this is according to him sa pag-uusap niya kay Tita Cory, when Tita Cory was president, she didn't want it to be about her. Na nagmukhang magiging presidente
Personal
na ako,
vendetta.
na maging vindictive
I
ako.
know what to say. Yeah.
You know, and that's the kind of person she is now. Tama ba yun o mali? You know, history, and we'll all have our opinion about that. But
Right.
yun yung thought process niya nung
So
panahon
that was
yun.
her moral decision.
My role is to bring back democracy. My role is to unify the country because this is a new, bagong umaga to para sa bansa natin. Kung gagamitin ko yung kapangyarihan ko para lang ungkatin to,
I'm no
baka
different.
madiskaril.
Yeah,
Baka
yeah.
madiskaril pa tong prosesong to. That's what she thought, according to my father. Of course,
And-
people can agree or disagree kung tama
Sorry,
yun o
Bami,
hindi.
if I'm cutting you, but because this is also about Cory Aquino. She's also a world historical figure
Yes.
in a sense that she stepped up to the moment in ways that it surprised many people. I know a lot of luminaries who said they were shocked by it. They thought she's just, your normal, just, the background kind of wife, that kind of dismissiveness, that kind of match. And then suddenly she steps up to the plate. Were you also surprised by, retrospect and also during
No, because I
Mm.
know of her na as president eh. Yung aking
Ah.
yung aking pagkakilala kay Tita
Pero
Cory.
in chismis in
Presidente
the
na siya eh.
family, like was the family, the more adult one, surprised that how she stepped up to the plate the way she did?
I don't think they were surprised, but kumbaga alam nila kasi astig siya eh. Siya yung,
So, astig din
yung mga
talaga.
babae sa Aquino family, yung mga tigas eh.
Yeah,
Yung, mga astig.
yeah.
Yung mga lalaki medyo soft-hearted eh, di ba? Yung mga babae yung mga astig.
Interesting.
Kahit nung panahon ni Pinoy, debate namin yan.
Hmm.
Sabi ko, boss, ikalawang Aquino ka na presidente. Wala pang resolution to.
Ano sabi niya?
Dun sa Kwan. Sabi ko, boss,
Baka naman. Oo.
kung tatay ko yan, habang buhay ko hahantingin
Yeah.
sa mga yan. Sabi ko sa kanya.
What did he say?
Sabi
To
ko,
the ends of the world. Yeah.
Sa invoke niya rule of law. No, yun ang kinukuha niya. At hindi siya yung tipong mapagigante. Siguro, na-raise siya ni
Tita
Tita
Cory.
Cory na gano'n eh. No,
Is it a Christian thing, I suppose? I mean,
Siguro,
forgiveness
it's a lot of
and
things. It's a lot of things.
It's a lot of
also
things.
upbringing. It's about
Pero, what did-
spirituality. It's about training siguro niya sa Ateneo.
Ako, maybe it's more of ano eh. Maybe it's more of it's not about me. Ay, Tita
Yeah.
Cory was like that. It's not about me. And Pinoy, I would say to a fault, was like that. It's not about me.
But this is a juxtaposition, right? Because it was always about we're not like the other side. Because Marcos as well.
No,
Imelda
well,
was all
it-
about
it-
herself,
no,
the
it-
narcissism,
I don't
the
think it-
dictatorship, hindi rin ganun. You think it's not that?
No, hindi siya about the other
Juxtaposition?
side. It was basically,
Mm.
kung mamumuno ka, di ba, kayo ang boss ko. Yung line na yun.
So it's a
real
transcendental
yun.
idea.
Real yun kay
Okay.
Pinoy. That's really how he felt. Yung kayo ang boss ko, that's really how he felt. So, kung gagawin niya itong personal sa kanya, and again, this is probably how he felt. You can judge for your own kung tingin mo tama
Yeah.
yun o hindi. Tingin niya, kung pinuno ka, hindi ka dapat, it shouldn't be about you and your own problems and your own family. So,
Yeah.
di ba?
So he didn't do any move at that time to
Ang alam ko hindi.
Yeah.
Ang alam ko hindi. Back to Tita Cory. So, at
Sorry
during
for
the few
cutting
years,
you there.
problem.
Because she's an important figure we have to talk about.
the
Yeah.
Agrava Commission came out with a decision that it was a military operation.
Mm.
Correct, di ba? And ano pa, hinarang pa yan or whatever. But in the end, the Agrava Commission came out with that, I guess, ruling, with that finding na somebody in the military or who can manipulate the military was the one who was behind it.
Rogue operation?
Hindi nila sinabi, but umabot sila sa it's a military operation. So, ang
And it was martial law.
ang nagpautos nun, yung mga tao kayang utusan ang military. Now, some people will say si Marcos was not well at that time and all of that. But ako, point ko lang is, somebody there, and hindi rin naman nila hinanap kung sino yung pumatay after. They didn't also have a credible investigation after. Kung
So
talagang they felt
logically,
bad
the
about
buck
it.
stops with Marcos Sr. then.
Well,
Unless you buy the argument that he was not really fully in charge because of his health deterioration, factional
somebody there. Somebody there.
degradation.
Somebody there made that decision. Hindi naman yung gagawin desisyon ng mga korporal o ng mga sargento, di ba? Somebody had to get Galman, somebody had to open the gate, somebody had to allow that van to come in, somebody told those military personnel to take him out and shoot him. Somebody told them that, and it's somebody na kayang utusan yung military. Now, as soon as a few weeks after or maybe a month after the assassination, may lumabas na documentary yung Japanese TV, NHK. And basically, inanalyze nila na the exit wound of Tito Ninoy was sa chin niya, dito sa baba niya. So, imposible talagang si Galman yun.
Sa harap. Yung
Because he
angle,
was
yung
on-
angle niya.
Yeah, he was on ground level. So, imposible
Na diretsong
hindi
yan magagawa.
na magbubumerang yung baril. It had
Yeah.
to be somebody who was above, and clearly,
Oo.
that's somebody in the stairs because he was going down the
From the
stairs.
vacuum shot.
And when you hear the words pusila, which is shoot, no? Wala pa siyang a few seconds from exiting the door. So clearly, it was somebody sa hagdan. And that was just the military. Although, up to their dying day, ayaw nilang aminin kung sino
Wala.
nagutos sa kanila. Up
Walang
to their
umano.
dying day. Walang umano.
May tanong din ako, Senator Bama. Kasi syempre, ang dami ding lumalabas nga na ibang mga stories about gun. Were you able to see itong huli, yung movie nung si Direk Daryl Yap?
No, hindi ko pinano.
Made in Marites, you made
no, yung Martyr
second
or
one,
Murderer.
Yung Martyr
Oo.
or Murderer. Kasi ang dami nilang mga...
Pinanood mo ba?
Yes, oo.
Supposedly,
Pinanood namin pareho.
May ni-imply.
Oo, but
Hindi implied.
tama ba na yung Martyr or Murderer is not about Tito Ninoy? It's actually about her father, about Aimie's father. About
Everything is about
Everything is
Aimee.
about Senator Aimee.
It's about
That's
I
namin.
and me and myself,
But
right?
in-
Hindi, pero they naglabas sila ng
By the
mga
way,
iba't
totoo yung
ibang-
totoo yung nag-usap sila ni Imelda. Totoo yun. That's real. Totoo rin yung sinabi sa kanya, huwag ka na umuwi kasi may banta sa buhay mo. Sa pagkakalam ko, totoo rin.
Naglabas sila ng mga several na mga conspiracy theories, mga iba-ibang
To spice it up. But I
Oo,
think
to
the
spice
movie
it up.
itself, iba ata ang
Pero
sinasabi.
what it was trying to show na hindi involved si Marcos Sr. doon sa pagpatay. So yun yung pinaka
Ikaw
point.
talaga, Mark, di nga namin nilalangaw na nga yan, binalik mo pa eh.
Hindi.
Pinasikat mo, gagamitin nila tong footage for
but,
ano.
But ito,
I'm kidding,
Richard,
I'm kidding, I'm
ito,
kidding,
just
I'm
talking
kidding.
about...
I'm just being mean. Yeah.
Sorry, overtime na tayo, but just
Yeah,
talking about
Sure.
conspiracy theory. Ito, yung isang kaibigan ko, so may opisina siya. Somebody who works in that office, and this is a few years ago, no? Sabi niya na nahulog siya sa upuan niya when that office mate of his said, sa pagkakaalam niya, si Tita Cory ang nagpapatay kay Tito Ninoy
Mm,
kasi gusto niya maging presidente.
mga ridiculous
so, that,
na eh,
but may naniniwala pare.
Of-
So this conspiracy theory, we can laugh about it or say napaka-crazy naman yan, pero may naniniwala eh.
Dun sa movie, there's even a small part there na sinasabi na si Ninoy mismo yung nag-orchestrate nung sarili niyang
QAnon level na, medyo QAnon na yan,
Oo,
medyo...
ganun wild
Eh, mapapamura ka na talaga dyan, di ba?
Parang-
Unfortunately, may naniniwala dyan.
Dapat pa drug test yung yung gumawa ng
Which
script.
leads me to my next question din. Kasi ito din
Yun ang pulveronic.
Kasi I
Pulveronic.
cover it from all sides nga. Siguro na-immerse na din ako masyado dun sa mga kaibigan natin na Marcos vloggers and all that. Pero I feel ang criticism ko doon sa side ng Yellow is hindi masyadong ganun kalaki yung effort to defend Ninoy's legacy. Kasi nakikita ko, lalo ngayon, if you post anything about Ninoy, pag sa TikTok kunyari, hati eh. There are people na, of course, who knows the story, yung nakwento nyo here, and there are marami din na alam mong galing yung storya nila sa YouTube, galing yung bakit wala masyadong
Well,
oo.
that has to change and it will change. No?
Mm.
But I remember, yung pinsan ko kasi, sobrang idealistic ng taong yun. I'm sure si Sek here will agree.
Away namin yan.
Pinag-usapan na namin yan.
Sabi ko, boss, ba't di tayo sumasagot, di tayo bumabanat? Sabi niya, ex-president ako eh. No? Ito yung incumbent. Ako
Yeah.
yung
And it's
predecessor.
not just that. It's not just that. He would
Ano
always
ba
tell
yun?
me, and I don't agree with him.
Mm.
He would always say, hindi, pinsan, primo, yan tawag niya sa akin. The truth will always come out. Huwag ka mag-alala, the truth will always come out.
The arc of
And-
history, arc of
Oh, he
history
always,
will bend towards justice kind of thing.
he always
yeah.
believed that. Hindi, the truth is gonna come out. Again, yung leadership nila, it's not about them di ba? But I think the intensity, the volume, the frequency of social media caught everybody off guard during that time. And now, at least para sa akin, klaro, kailangan mo paglaban yan. Di ba? So, like this week we've been posting about Tito Ninoy, a lot of content, and we're proud of that fact na this is somebody na mahalagang malaman ng mga tao yung kwento nila. Maybe at that time, the thought was, hindi, nasa history na yan, nasa puso na yan ng mga tao, lalabas at lalabas yan. Pero on hindsight, looking at what happened sa social media, kailangan mo siya ipaglaban
You have to
talaga.
fight.
Kailangan mo siya ipaglaban
Kailangan sagutin din directly yung mga kine-claims nila or yung mga
You mean direct rebuttal?
Oo, direct
Patulan?
rebuttal. Yung kung may mga vloggers sila, dapat may mga vloggers din. Pero sa akin ako
Easier said than done yung ganyan. Yung by vloggers sila.
So,
by vloggers
Troll Farm.
Easier
Go ahead and Troll Farm.
Easier said than
that
done
has
yan.
always been my advocacy from the
I
start
think
with
pagdating sa traditional media or if it's a book or history, sasagutin sinasagot naman ng
Oh,
foundation.
pero yun nga, mahina tayo
Ang
sa-
mahirap dyan, yung
Yeah.
mga dark corners of the
Dark
internet.
web.
Yun yung
Yeah,
mahirap.
dark
pero parang sa YouTube and so that's why sinasabi ko din naman kay Richard, parang the yellow side or the pink side needs more vloggers. Hindi kasi it's kumbaga there's a market for that
And thanks
kind
to
of
you,
content.
I'm a mainstream. I write for Philippine Daily Inquirer. I mean, we're mainstream, but we're doing
Para someone-
this. Yeah, so that's
someone to
the-
answer lang yung
Ganon kalaki. Last point, I know Bam, you need to leave. The reason I look forward to this conversation is because I'm an avid follower of comparative politics, and one country I always paid attention to is India and Rahul Gandhi. Everyone made fun of the guy just a few years ago. He's a loser. He's a Italiano boy, and I question even his Indianness, posh, Cambridge, and all of that. And he did fantastic in the latest elections and really stepped up to the
And
plate.
na-shock si Modi, right?
Na-shocks him. And one of the things he did was, when he would go all across the rural areas in India, he will remind them the sacrifice family, nung assassinating lola niya, what happened to his dad. Na, hindi kami perfecto. We may have our shortcomings, but please also don't forget the sacrifices my family, the Gandhi
family
Nehru,
is part of the
Nehru.
history of
exactly
the
for
of
the
India.
democracy of this country, no? And it kind of worked because there was a sincerity in his eyes and the kind of a listening tour and that kind of engagement. A part of me feels you're almost the same age. He's like early 50s lang siya, and he's like you. He still looks young and vibrant, and he really had also the stepping up moment.
And Modi
Are-
was at the height of his power.
And everyone thought he's a foregone. Na umiyak pa yung mga pollsters, di ba? Umiyak sila. You see where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that's also a way forward for you? Because you're the torchbearer. Kaya ang ganda ng tanong ni Market. I think pagdating sa legit media and all, okay na yan, settled na yan. Mahirap na, no one takes seriously on this Marites. But in the new information ecosystem, in the new political environment, you have to fight the fight. Yeah.
I will take your advice
And
to
you're the
heart.
torchbearer,
I will take
ah.
your advice to heart, my friend. But yeah, ako honestly, there's no getting away from this. I mean, mukha ko pa lang di ba? Yun yung batikos noon sa akin.
And your name
Kamukha
also.
niya yung tito niya, hindi nila
Yeah,
alam.
exactly.
Tuwan-tuwa naman ako pag kino-compare ko
Yeah.
sa tito ko kasi idol ko siya. That used to be, they were like maybe top 5 trolling. And maybe that was like the 4th. Kamukha niya yung tito niya.
Thanks.
Masaya ako doon.
Thanks.
Hindi siya
Yeah.
kasing, hindi siya kasing galing ng tito. Hindi talaga ako kasing galing ng tito ko, bayani yan 'Di ba? So, I actually love that trolling na kamukha niya yung tito niya. This last kwento.
Please.
Senate office, I think si Sec visited me a few times in my Senate office. You remember? In my desk, which was Tito Ninoy's desk by the way. Nahiram ko yung desk niya from Concepcion.
Oh, wow.
That was his desk when he was mayor of Concepcion. Nahiram ko yun. Binili ko na rin by the way. That was the desk I used. And in front of me is this big picture of Tito Ninoy. It's his picture nung inatulan siya ng death penalty. And he has his hands like this. He was in his black t-shirt. That's a pretty famous picture. And he's basically pleading for his life. Diba? And that was in front of my desk for 6 years. To remind me na, hindi yan,
That's the legacy.
this is a responsibility
You-
that you're here.
and
Hindi
now
ka pwedeng duwag-duwag. Yan, pakatapang ng tito mo, kailangan.
And
Diba?
now you have to add the other picture. Him carrying
I have
you.
to look for that picture.
I'm telling you, man, that will be the next chapter of your life. Whatever you want to do in your life, I think that will be your next chapter. And you see, I'm emotional about this because, we may have political disagreements, we may have disagreements with tactics, but I hate it when people are questioning, something special done for
In our country.
Yeah. And people of I almost this is international media. I was on quarantine because I was on travel when Pinoy passed away, and I was asked about the Aquino family's legacy. And you know what got me teary-eyed was yung picture ng, it was like a cartoon, na parang cartoon of Cory and the dad, and anak, you can now retire. Oh my God, that got
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
That really got me.
We should have another episode
yeah.
about Pinoy's legacy.
Okay,
Ibang episode pa yan.
yeah. So I hope you understand where I'm coming. I'm
So,
very
like,
emotional about. Yeah.
So naidagdag Richard,
Please, Mark.
yung sa akin naman, during the time na when Direct Daryl Yap nilabas tong mga Maiden Malacanang, itong mga Murder or Murder, I started with my series dun sa vlog ko. Who is McCoy? Who is Ninoy? I think sa panahon ngayon sa social media, the best way to talk to ordinary people and yung mga tao na, yung mga bata na hindi na naabutan yung time na yun is to show like what we did here, Ninoy as a person and
With all of the flaws.
with all of the
all
flaws,
of the
with
problems, all of the
the
hopes.
mistakes, lahat eh. And at the same time also, yun nga, tapos i-contrast mo yun, the time he was in prison and how it changed him and how he became a freedom fighter. So I think that's the best way talaga to show people na he's
Yung arc
real person.
niya
And
it's
ako,
so relatable.
Honestly, thank you
Yeah.
for this time. Alam ko, marami tayong pwedeng pagchismisan about current
No, no, no,
politics,
no.
mga libro na nilalabas.
Nandiyan si
online.
Ronald
We
mamaya.
can do it next time.
Yes.
But thank you for this time to talk about Tito Ninoy, yung kwento niya. At ako personally, I really believe
Yeah.
yung kwento niya. Kwento yan ng Pilipinas rin eh.
Absolutely.
Diba? So
Absolutely.
kailangan makwento yan.
And
Thank
that's
you.
why I feel offended if there's an attack on truth and the truth that there. I take it personally. Even if I've criticized all of you
Yeah.
guys. I mean, we can have a different podcast on that. And although Ronald is more prolific. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Senator Bam Aquino. Bam, thank you so much for that. Mabuhay ka and good luck to you with your
And I'll be back. Baka
Yes,
pang-apat
yes,
dito
yes,
next
this
time.
is,
ah.
yeah.
Kayo fourth
fight the good
Ilustrado.
fight. Fight the
For
good
the
fight. Thank you
record-
so much. Thank you
For
so
the
much.
record, Senator, hindi ako sang-ayon dyan.
Kahit first quarter store man lang, di ba? Napakaluma naman ito, di ba? But thank you guys. Salamat.
Ronald, what are you doing to me? Ronald, don't do that. Thank you so much. Let's take a picture before he leaves. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Guys, salamat.
Oh, that was nice.
Thank you.